How's it going, everyone? Data here, and it is draft night 2022 NHL Entry Draft live from Montreal. Montreal Canadiens with the first overall selection, with much anticipation behind Shane Wright, Juraj Slafkovsky, Logan, Cooley, and many others. So thank you to those who have joined so far as we've been waiting for this one. It's been an eventful day in the NHL as we had a lot of rumors milling around throughout the afternoon. Chris Letang signs on in Pittsburgh, Alex DeBrincat being traded to the Ottawa Senators, Alex Georgiev being traded to the Avalanche, and much, much more still waiting to happen for the rest of this evening. The second, the third, the 13th overall selections all in play when it comes to draft picks that are up for grabs. Many other players still mulling around. Some names that have been heard around the league include Josh Anderson from the Montreal Canadiens, with many others to go. Marc-Andre Fleury, rumored to have signed. Did he confirm? Did he sign with the Minnesota Wild on a 2-year deal? We're hearing about it. Yes, he has 2 years at $3.5 million per year for Marc-Andre Fleury with the Minnesota Wild. So he got his 2 years, exactly what he wanted, but he did not get probably as much money as he could have gotten had he signed for 1 year. So I'm seeing 2 years at 3.5. Yeah, 2 years at 3.5 is what I'm seeing for Marc-Andre Fleury. 3.5 per year. Very good. Thank you, everyone, joining in tonight. We have Sportsnet going on the side. I'll open it up a little later when it comes to hearing who the teams are drafting right now. Just David Amber and some other panelists discussing right now. Where can you watch the draft? In Canada on TV, you can watch it on Sportsnet. In the States, I imagine you can watch it on ESPN. And online, I'm not sure if there's a stream on YouTube from Sportsnet, but most YouTube streams will not be able to give you the draft itself due to copyright. So 2 years, $7 million, 3.5 per for Marc-Andre Fleury, the Flower. ESPN Plus, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure what YouTube channel it would be, but there's a few people in here who have just mentioned that for YouTube. So now that we're live, I'll just go ahead and share the link here on Twitter. Let me open this up here. With Sportsnet going. They're talking about where the Montreal Canadiens may be who they may be selecting.
The teams are proving today. I'm interested to see what the fans want and what this building does in the next 10 minutes or so.
And that's part of the story. There's maybe a little bit of added pressure to Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon, and all the games. They're in front of their home crowd.
No question. But when you have a situation where you're looking and you're talking about, hey, we've got 14 picks, you come in as a new general manager, what more could you possibly ask for? You have the number 1 pick in your own barn. What more could you ask for? What I will say about this new group with Jeff Gordon and Kent Hughes, they are not afraid to go against the grain. If they feel very strongly about Slafkovsky, maybe that's not the popular pick here in the building, that's the road they're going to go down. And how can you argue, especially with Jeff Gordon's experience, what he did with the New York Rangers and how quickly they got here to the top of the mountain with history?
That's the key point, David. I agree with you 100%, Sam. The truth of the matter is when you
Gary McGuire, fresh off the job in Ottawa.
Jeff Gordon helping a first-time general manager like Ken Hughes get through this, that makes a world of difference when it comes down to drafting and identifying key points in your development.
Luke, doing all right, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us.
I'm not going to overthink this. He's the most pro-ready body. That would be the guy.
The panelists are saying, looks like they're divided on Wright and Slafkovsky at the moment. Elliot Friedman talking now. Talks have slowed down for the Devils.
If things pick up at the Devils' table. Just recently, Minnesota announced they re-signed Marc-Andre Fleury to a 2-year deal, $3.5 million per season. And guys, I'm starting to hear some rumblings about the Islanders' first-round pick. I wonder if that's
Islanders at 13. Lots of rumblings, says Elliot Friedman.
I think the Islanders' first-round pick is in play. Jeff, what do you have?
A couple of things. What we're wondering about Elliot is, are there any teams in advance of free agency next week willing to attach their first-round draft pick to a bad contract to get some cap relief and maybe make some space? And Elliot, one of the teams that I think a lot of people are wondering about are the Philadelphia Flyers. They will draft 5th overall. And as much as speculation has been about Shane Wright and Slafkovsky, You know, one general manager told me yesterday, I don't care to read any of your lists. This whole thing is going to be a spray. You know, there is some talk and there's some speculation that maybe at 2-3, we see New Jersey taking David Jiricek, the defenseman.
No way.
Gauthier from Scottsdale, Arizona.
So they're saying right now that at the number 2 for the New Jersey Devils, we could see something like Jiricek going at 2 or Gauthier going at number 2. I think that would be absolutely ludicrous. I could not see a world where that happens. I think the top 4 in any order has to be Wright, Slafkovsky, Cooley, and Nemec. I think I would be absolutely shocked if Gauthier goes number 2 or even number 3. Recapping my top list, I made this about a month ago, so I probably would make some changes if I went a little bit more in depth. But I think Wright goes number 1, Slafkovsky number 2, Cooley number 3, Nemec number 4. Number 5, it's a toss-up between Savoie, Gauthier, and Kemell, but I would go Savoie at 5 for Philadelphia, Jiricek at 6 for Columbus, Kemell at 7 for Chicago, now that they acquired that pick in the DeBrincat trade. Number 8, I originally had Brad Lambert, but it seems like he's slipping more and more. I could see Lekkerimäki going at number 8 instead, or even between him and Gauthier, and Buffalo takes the other one of those 2. Anaheim could take Brad Lambert, and then I think I see San Jose and Columbus going Mintyukov and maybe Juraj or Nazar, but we'll see as time goes on. Who do I think the Habs will pick? I think they will take Wright, and I would like them to take Wright. Will that happen? I think it's more likely than not. But yeah, I do lean Shane Wright being the choice. I think they all the talk of Slafkovsky may have been a bit of a smokescreen. I'm sure they looked into it very intently, but I think it may be a bit of a smokescreen at the same time to maybe try and fool New Jersey. I'm not sure.
GMs were hired in the last 5 years. It is a win now situation,
Especially when you're coming off COVID, you're talking about revenues. Playoff are a revenue generator, and so it's really important to get better quickly. And we see a lot of teams, especially in the top 10, that are sitting in that exact spot.
There's no question about it. I think there's going to be a lot of scrutiny, a lot of pressure, and a lot of general managers. Probably more so than what we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years anyways.
GM's seen a runway of at least 5 years in this league. They've established what they want out of their group. Let's hope there's a little more stability going forward.
All right, well, again, we set the stage. We have a lot of different opinions as far as who the Montreal Canadiens are going to pick first overall. In a matter of moments, there will be no more mystery. We'll have an answer. It may be Shane Wright. We will wait and see. The 2022 NHL Entry Draft, it is set to begin in a matter of moments. The commissioner, Gary Bettman, will be taking the podium. Special celebration.
Gary Bettman's coming to the podium momentarily.
Coming your way. We will find out who the Habs pick in a matter of moments. To the commissioner, Gary Bettman.
And here's Gary. Who do I think Vancouver will go for? I could see them going for Conor, Geekie, Denton, Mateychuk. I could see them going for one of those 2. The booze coming in for Gary.
Bonsoir, Montréal.
Bonsoir, Montréal.
Bienvenue au repêchage de la Ligue nationale du hockey upper deck 2022.
Hey, not bad.
Mention son Cloutard. I am delighted to be conducting a draft in person again, and thank you for that welcome. It is a return to normalcy. We are thrilled that the draft is in the city that has played host to the first NHL draft back in 1963 and has been home to the most NHL drafts since.
The boos just don't stop.
I'm not sure why you're booing that. It's your city. On a serious note, we had a tragedy here in Montreal yesterday with the untimely passing of Brian Marchment, who was here in his capacity with the San Jose Sharks. Obviously, our condolences, the condolences of the entire NHL family go out to Brian's family and friends, and I'd ask everybody to stand for a moment of silence in Brian's memory.
That happened yesterday.
Thank you.
All right, at least there's that. At least the Habs fans can listen to that. can follow that.
You have to hold it for a second. Wait a minute. I'm now
These fans,
honored
so
to
incompetent.
be accompanied tonight by Tanya Bossy and Martin LaFleur.
Children of Mike Bossy and Guy Lafleur.
Within a span of 8 days in April, the NHL lost two of its most legendary players, and Montreal lost two of its most beloved sons, and most important, Tanya and Martin lost their cherished fathers. We still and always will feel their losses deeply. But tonight, we celebrate their lives.
I can't tell. There's still booze going on. It's Geekie.
We recall that the remarkable careers of both Guy Lafleur and Mike Bossy began on nights such as this at NHL drafts held in Montreal.
There we go.
Mon père a grandi dans un village qui s'appelait Tursault. Un jour, il rêvait, comme son idole, Jean Bilbao, de faire la Ligue nationale. In 1971, thanks to Sam Pollock's wizardry, the Montreal Canadiens drafted my father. Mon père m'a dit, il y a un bout de temps, le sentiment d'être repêché est aussi grand que de gagner la Coupe Stanley ou tous les autres honneurs ou accolades qu'on peut recevoir en performant dans la Ligue nationale. Parce que la Ligue nationale est le summum du hockey au monde.
Saying that the feeling of being drafted is that of winning the Stanley Cup.
The Lafleur family would like to wish the best of luck to all the players who are eligible for the 2022 NHL Draft. Enjoy this moment. It's once in a lifetime. Thank you. Merci.
Nice words. Now Mike Bossy's daughter.
Mon père avait un rêve, celui de jouer dans la LNH et de briser des records. Il y a 45 ans, il a été repêché par les Islanders de New York. Et bien inspiré par Lafleur, sans doute bien inspiré par Lafleur, il avait même affirmé au directeur général qu'il compterait 50 buts dès sa première saison. Eh bien, c'est avec ce gilet des Islanders qu'il en a marqué finalement 53.
She's holding the jersey. He scored his 53rd goal in, I believe, in his rookie season.
My father's dream was to play in the NHL.
Bossy chants at the Bell Center.
My father's dream was to play in the NHL. 45 years ago, he was drafted by the New York Islanders, and he told the GM that he would score 50 goals during his first season. Well inspired by Lafleur and wearing this jersey, he scored 53. Despite his shortened life and career, my dad's dream came true. And if he was here tonight, he would tell you to dream big as you can. Malgré une vie et une carrière écourtée, mon père a accompli son but et plus encore. S'il était présent ici ce soir, il vous dirait à tous de rêver grand, très grand. Merci. Thank you.
Back to Gary.
Martin for being here tonight. Before we get down to this evening's business, we have another special guest. Canadiens head coach Martin St-Louis.
Hey, now here come the cheers, huh? Away, Cesar, yeah! Standing ovation at the Bell Center for Marty St. Louis. Interim head coach who had a losing record, but I love him, but already a standing ovation. They'll be the first ones to kick him out in a few years. Chanting ole ole. Man, Habs fans are something else, eh?
Merci. Martin et Xavier, je suis content que vous êtes ici. Xavier, ton père a passé beaucoup de temps à Laval. Il a inspiré beaucoup de jeunes Lavallois comme moi quand on était jeunes. Martin, ton père, c'est l'idole de la province. OK? Il nous a fait vivre des moments inoubliables comme fan du Canadien. Merci d'être ici. Bienvenue au repêchage. Bienvenue à tous les fans du hockey.
Fan d'hockey.
Spécialement à nos fans des Canadiens. Encore une fois, à guichet fermé. Vous êtes vraiment extraordinaire. Merci.
Sold out.
47 years. Took me 47 years to finally be at my first draft.
It's true, he was undrafted.
And it was worth the wait. The last 2 days, the energy in this city's been awesome. Merci, Montréal.
Hey, Brennan, good to see you. I'm hoping for Shane Wright first overall, Brennan.
Congratulations to all the players that are going to hear their names in the next 2 days. Understand that it's just the beginning. It's probably the easy part. What's ahead of you is going to be much harder. And for the guys that don't hear your name, it's okay. It's not the end. You just keep pushing. You match work ethic with will. You can accomplish anything.
If anyone knows, it's Marty St. Louis. Doing all right, Jay Birdie. Great to see you in here. Hope you've been doing well as well.
Encore une fois, merci beaucoup. Amusez-vous ce soir. Et go, let's go!
Go Habs, go les boys! Would I be disappointed with Slafkovsky? I think I'd be disappointed. I don't know if that's the word to use. Oh, on Gary's back at the front. Maybe in the moment, but I want to give him an opportunity to prove himself.
And the entire Canadiens organization for being such terrific help. My thanks as well to Mayor Valerie Plante and the City of Montreal for the warm welcome you have extended to most of the NHL family this week. Congratulations to all of the draft-eligible prospects who are here in the Bell Center and on your hockey journey thus far. Good luck as you wait to hear your names called over the next 2 days. And thank you to all of the parents, family members, friends, and coaches whose support was essential to every one of these hockey journeys. Finally, welcome to those watching on TVR Sports, Sportsnet, ESPN, and the NHL Network.
Thank you very much.
La première sélection Etienne au Canadien du Montréal.
There we go. First selection for the Montreal Canadiens.
The first selection in the 2022 NHL Draft belongs to the Montreal Canadiens. Montréal. En route Montreal, you are on the clock.
Yeah, Gorton, Hughes, Lekkerimäki, they're all at the table. We have 3 minutes now, starting now. On the clock, 3 minutes starting now for the Montreal Canadiens to make their selection. Kent Hughes looks stone cold sitting at that table. I'll hear Saku Koivu talking, not live.
Should have an opportunity to play for the Montreal Canadiens.
All right, here's a little fun montage. Canadiens fans, Caulfield, Anderson, more fans. Jake Evans. A little morale piece for all the Habs fans. There's Suzuki. With 5 timeout, exactly. Elliot Friedman saying something up between Vancouver and New York right now. I wouldn't be surprised if JT Miller is on his way to the Islanders in exchange for the 13th overall pick and a prospect. The Islanders have some decent prospects. Oliver Wahlstrom, guys like that. I could see the Islanders making a move here with the 13th overall pick and a draft pick, 13th overall and a prospect, for JT Miller. The pick is in. The Canadiens just waiting to go up to the front now. I think it has to be Shane Wright.
There are no discernible legends, and that's what makes this thing interesting. You can look at number 1 right now. Is it Slafkovsky? Is it Wright? Maybe Logan Cooley. Pretty awesome. We still don't know.
Habs still sitting at the table, taking their sweet time. Pierre Maguire giving his life story.
I enjoyed a flight to Europe to the under 18s this year in Germany with Marty Lapointe, and we picked each other's brains for 8 hours or so. I can tell you that he was stressed, but at the same time excited about the opportunity. It doesn't get any better than this, fellas, right here in Montreal. I'll just say one thing. It's hard to teach big.
We got from ESPN with a red hat letting them know when commercials are over. Maybe, eh? They're all still sitting there, using all 3 minutes that they have, like an NHL 22. There's a look in at Wright, a look at Slafkovsky. The highest Slovakian pick to date, Marian Gaborik at 3rd overall. So whether Slafkovsky goes at 1 or 2, if he goes at 1 or 2, he'll be the highest drafted Slovakian player in NHL history. The Canadiens are standing up, slowly making their way, push the chairs in, couple comments to someone sitting down. Oh, fog of war has to be off. Here comes Hughes, Gordon, St. Louis, Lekkerimäki. Whole team's coming up. Welcomed by Gary onto the stage. Big handshakes for everybody. Shoulder touch, big smile. Gotta look good. Le choix est fait. Here we go.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir à nos partisans. Merci beaucoup pour votre soutien incroyable. Je veux aussi souhaiter bienvenue aux espoirs et leurs familles. I would like to thank and welcome all the prospects and their families to Montreal. On behalf of the Montreal Canadiens organization, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to the Marchman family and to the San Jose Sharks for the untimely passing of Brian. Congratulations to Joe Sakic and the Colorado Avalanche.
Congratulations. Well, hello to our viewing party back at La Cage au Sport.
Avec notre premier choix,
Here we go.
repêchage with our first pick in the 2022 NHL Draft. Les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national
Whoa!
team Juraj Slafkovsky.
What? Kent Hughes, buddy, you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing, buddy. What? Wow. Shane Wright. Do the Bobby Margarita doesn't miss. Do the Devils trade their pick or do they take Hughes? Right. Wow. Bergevin. I wonder what Bergevino would have done there. Wow. I'm going to tweet just WOW. That's my tweet. Just wow. Slafkovsky bet it, buddy. Well, everyone get ready for the Juraj Slafkovsky Canadiens career simulation coming out in a few days. Wow. What? Slafkovsky, big handshake with Gary. Juraj Slafkovsky is a Montreal Canadien. I don't know how to feel right now. I don't know how to feel. He has a crazy high ceiling. Higher GM data and team assistants, I'll take it. If Wright drops to number 3, that would be that would be ludicrous. I'm shocked. I am shocked. Not shocked at Slafkovsky in the sense I didn't want him, but shocked that they didn't take Wright. Not that I'm shocked that they shocked of surprise and disgust. Just shocked of I thought it seemed pretty locked in that Wright was the guy. Big hug with Slafkovsky, with St. Louis, with Suzuki. Wow. Juraj Slafkovsky. Bienvenue à l'équipe. Bienvenue à la Canadienne de Montréal. 6 pieds, 4 pouces. Big boy. Now the Devils take Shane Wright with Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes in their system. Take Wright, trade Nico? That would be crazy. Wow, that changes everything for the draft right there. That changes a lot.
He joins the Montreal Canadiens organization, but now the top forward prospect for the Montreal Canadiens is Juraj Slafkovsky, who's standing by with Carolyn Cameron.
The second selection in the 2022.
Well, your eyes went wide when you heard your name.
Interview now with Slafkovsky.
In a 2-horse race for first overall. When did you get a sense that it might be?
Let's hear what Slafkovsky has to say.
Actually, it was sometime after the World Champions when I was on Combine. I felt like they are pretty interested.
Why is Welcome to the Black Parade playing at the Bell Center?
I didn't know what to expect. I think it
I
was
was
good.
a young boy. Why is that playing? Like a depressing song before the second pick.
Well, after you won bronze at the Olympics, you got some special messages.
I have to turn the volume down because I wouldn't want to get copyright for that song playing in the background. But let's look at Juraj Slafkovsky, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet the Canadiens' new top prospect. He is 6'4". He scored 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in 31 games with Turku in Liga. He was the MVP of the 2022 Olympics with 7 goals in 7 games. He helped Slovakia win bronze. Big boy, 6'4", 218 pounds. He has the potential to be an elite power forward in the NHL, and he has a very, very high ceiling in today's NHL. His strength and puck protection are all well behind his years. And while there are small areas that will progress with big league development, Slafkovsky's stock definitely took a jump with his play over this season, not really anything else. So there have been comparisons to playing style in stylistically to Jaromir Jagr, to Evgeny Malkin, And one quote says that he is a very, very special player. He has incredible hands and mobility for a guy that is as enormous as he is. So there's the scouting report that I have on Slafkovsky according to my own research. There's much more that could be said about him. But I got to say, I'm not surprised that it's Slafkovsky. I guess I'm just more surprised that it's passed on Wright. That I'm surprised that it's Slafkovsky. I'm more surprised that Wright isn't number one. He's been slated as number one since he was like 15 years old for this 2022 draft. Back in like 2017, 2018, people were saying that 2022 draft, Shane Wright is going number one. And he was number one all the way until like a few months ago. And for some, even for a few weeks ago. And for some, even just for a few days ago.
I'm not trying to say he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but man-oh-man stats, this is a dominant big body player, and I think Juraj Slafkovsky could be much the same because of his ability to dominate the puck, create chances off the forecheck, drive to the net, and not be overrun by anybody.
All right, well, a historic moment. I should mention it was mostly cheers here in Montreal for that pick. There was a smattering maybe of surprise, but it was mostly cheers. And look at this list, Jason, that he follows in. Wickenheiser, Lafleur.
First overall picks in Canadiens history, Monahan, Place, Hull, Lafleur, Wickenheiser, and Slafkovsky. Pretty much only like one of those. I know who they are. But
Well, I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I mean, they are...
so the Devils, the pick is in. So the Devils are selecting at number 2. They are not moving the pick. The pick is in for New Jersey. Now, do they go Shane Wright and have 3 elite centermen? Like, even if Nico Hischier is a number 2, he's not a number 3. Jack Hughes is going to be your number 1. Do you try and put him on the wing or something? I don't know about that. Or do you just say you have to go Shane Wright and let everything else just organize itself because you got to take the guy who was number 1 and also known as the top prospect available? Or do they go for Logan Cooley, or do they go defense? There were some comments about Jiricek going at 2. I would be surprised if Jiricek is the first D off the board. I think it's going to be Simon Nemec if it is a defenseman. As per Elliot Freeman here, it could be going defense. So does Shane Wright just fall to number 3 and the Coyotes get him, as many franchise modes have had? Full bar trade value. Yeah. Freeman says that they may be going defense. Slafkovsky interview. Kent Hughes being interviewed. He has a really dynamic personality. He's very charismatic. What's the best moment in hockey? Slafkovsky says it's when we're winning or losing by a goal. Good answer. All right. They might be going defense here. That means Wright/Cooley dropped to 3 and 4. I think Seattle has a big smile on their face if they know they're going to get Wright or Cooley. That's for sure, to play with Matty Beniers. But the Devils will make this selection at number 2. Lunchbox.
Bonsoir, Montréal.
Hey, bonsoir, Montréal. Martin Bralard. I'd like to thank Montreal, Jeff Molson, the Canadiens, for all the great stuff over the last weekend.
Also, I'd like to say hi to all our fans back in New Jersey at the Stone Pony at our draft party.
At the Stone Pony, all these random places where they're having watch parties. Their new assistant GM. Hey, merci.
The Devils do New Jersey.
Nice. French.
Second selection, the New Jersey Devils are proud to select from Nitra, Simon Nemec.
Simon Nemec, the top defenseman, goes to the Devils at number 2. You know, who's in the Devils system for defense, right? After Dougie Hamilton, it goes who? Ty Smith, Damon Severson? Makes sense. Does Slafkovsky play in the NHL right away? That's a good question. Yeah, Devils Brass looking stressed. I see that, Joel. I see that. I don't think they were going Nemec unless Slafkovsky went number 1, so that definitely changes what they had planned. That's why I'm not looking at the Discord. I'm not looking at Twitter. I'm not looking at the Discord. I don't want spoilers. So the top 2 players are Slovakian. He's the 6th Slovakian defenseman to go in the first round, I believe, if I read that correctly. Shane Wright. It reminds me of when Seth Jones was supposed to go like 2 and he dropped to 4. People were really shocked by that. But Shane Wright, many said 1. Everyone else said 2. To see him drop to potentially 3, the Coyotes are smiling. And then the Kraken getting Cooley at 4 potentially would be wild, as Cooley may end up being the best player in this draft. Who knows? Wow, all those franchise modes that where Arizona got Wright and Bedard might actually happen. Wow. Yeah, I'm not looking at Twitter or the Discord because I don't want anything to be spoiled for me. I'd recommend not spoiling it either in the chat because it makes it more fun to hear the call itself. Let's go through the scouting report on Simon Nemec over here. I had him going 4 to the Seattle Kraken. Give me a moment here. He's a typical top D-man in a class as he... So he is the typical top D-man of his class as he boasts 2-way offensive ability, something evidenced by his 26 points in 39 games in Slovakia, which makes him one of the highest scoring D-men in the history of his league. Add in the 17 points that he scored in 19 playoff games this season, strong U20 showings with Slovakia, and a solid 7 games with Slovakia's bronze medal winning team at the Olympics, and you have a very desirable prospect for a team that is desperate, for a team that would may be desperate for defensive talent. Very solid on both ends of the ice, and he would be one of the quicker players to make the NHL. Wow. Wow. Yeah, he's a mobile D-man for sure. And he goes 2nd overall. Slovakia taking over the draft, picks 1 and 2. Does Wright go 3 to Arizona? And he is probably just buzzing right now. But I like that pick for New Jersey. It had to be wing or defense, I think. I would have said Wright just in terms of best player available, but if you were going for your team's needs, then yeah, Nemec is the guy. Arizona now on the clock. Interview with Nemec going on right now on Sportsnet.
I was surprised because it was amazing for me and I think for Slovak hockey.
Yeah, if the Kraken go Jiricek, Flyers get Cooley, the Flyers would snap from excitement.
What does it mean to share this moment with him?
I lost the words because I was surprised and. We were kids when we dream about NHL draft.
Well, you've been playing for the top league in Slovakia for 2 years away from home. How's that helped prepare you for the NHL?
I think it will be different. It will be different in ice and off ice, and I'm excited and we will see.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Carolyn. Jason, let's get your scouting report. Well, we're going to take a look at him.
Power play quarterback with elite vision, more of a distributor than a shooter, and he's an executive in all 3 zones. What does that mean? Excellent in all 3 zones?
He's not only just quick on his own entry, that's a full-grown man in pro hockey. He's beating to the edge, getting pucks to the net. Here we are again, coming through the middle of the slot. Boom, here I am. Hearing a puck.
Well, so Coyotes are on the clock. They've also been a team that have been rumored to think about shopping their pick, but the pick is in. Arizona is selecting at number 3. I think they have to go Shane Wright here. That's crazy if they don't go Wright. Unless, I don't think they go Cooley over. I don't think they're taking Did they take Jiricek because of the early defenseman that went? Maybe they were hoping for Nemec? I don't know. It has to be right. It has to be. Devils say they did come close to trading the pick.
If you're not trying to gain assets, you're not trying hard enough to better your...
If you're not trying to gain assets, you're not trying hard enough.
It was all because of the equalness, I guess, we'll call it.
Slafkovsky to Laval, just a tank for Bedard, wouldn't be a bad idea. let him play in Laval. He did well with men in Finland. Give him a year in the American Hockey League. So Slafkovsky goes 1, Nemec goes 2. Other Slovakians, Gabrick goes 3 in 2000. No one else that I even really know or can recognize on this list, aside from Marin Hossa at 12 in 1997, Marcel Hossa at 16 in 2000. Robert Petrovicki goes 9th in 1992. Definitely a big year for the Slovaks. All right. Arizona has 10 picks in this draft, and here comes their first. Who's going to be that number 1 prospect in that arena with 5,000 people?
It's great to rip it down to the floor and everything else, but you still have to sell tickets. So one of the things I do look at is getting some exciting players in there. They all have Blake Keller in there. I try to get some excitement.
At least you only have to sell 5,000.
And you know what, though? They got to sell them on their own, too. It's a worldwide game here, and people want to buy tickets to see exciting teams. This guy, or the next pick, whoever they make, let's hope it's an exciting player.
Well, we'll wait and see. Xavier Gutierrez, the president and CEO for the Coyotes, as they set to make their pick. Again, Arizona, just one playoff appearance in the last 10 years. All sorts of trouble both on and off the ice for this franchise. Hopefully, this could be a turning point for them as they look to have a foundational piece with this selection. Remember, last year they forfeited their first-round pick for violating the combine testing rules. Let's hear from Xavier Gutierrez, president and CEO for the Coyotes, set to pick number 3 overall here in Montreal. You got a deal on the suits.
Here we go. Nice glasses.
Bonjour. My name is Javier Gutierrez. I'm the president and CEO of the Arizona
Has to introduce himself. I like it.
On behalf of the owner, Alex Morello, the Morello family,
Morelos,
and the entire Arizona Coyotes organization, we'd like to thank the Montreal Canadiens and the great city of Montreal for your hospitality this week.
Yes, sir.
We'd also like to congratulate the Colorado Avalanche on winning the Stanley Cup. Congrats.
Has to be right.
And we'd also like to share a moment of condolences to the family of Brian Marchment and the San Jose Sharks organization. To our fans back in Arizona, many of whom are watching us at Ball Course Pass Casino, thank you for your quarter-century of support, loyalty, and dedication. To our corporate and community partners, thank you for being always part of the pack. To Arizona State University, we thank you
Arizona
for
State
welcoming
University.
us into your family, and we look forward to playing in Tempe, Arizona. And to the city of Tempe, we look forward to our partnership.
Let's get on with it.
In building an iconic sports and entertainment district. And with that, as we take our next step in our journey towards the Stanley Cup, I'd like to
For the
invite
Stanley
our
Cup.
GM.
Okay, thank you for the big speech. Now here comes the GM to make the selection. Thank you very much.
Arizona selects from the U.S. National Program, Logan Cooley.
What? Shane Wright is snapping in his head right now. Logan Cooley goes number 3 to the Coyotes. What in the world is happening? ASU a better franchise than the Coyotes. I totally forgot to be sharing the screen as well.
Potential to win a national championship. NHL bound right after that. Bob Motzko is that coach. He's an outstanding developer talent. He didn't just
Wow.
play in Minnesota. He's also done it in St. Cloud State. Outstanding player. I think the biggest thing about Logan Cooley, he's going to make it fun to go to games in Arizona. I'll tell you that.
All right, let's send it down to Jeff Merrick.
You know, Logan Cooley's a fascinating center. When you look at Bill Armstrong in the Arizona Coyotes,
Someone reset the game.
They picked up a couple of other centers. Jack McBain comes over from
Wow.
come over from the Minnesota Wild and changed for a second rounder. Nathan Smith comes in from Winnipeg in the Brian Little deal, but they did need more down the middle. Last year they took Dylan Gunther, 9th overall from the Edmonton Oil Kings. Also took Josh Doan and Shane Doan, son in the second round as well.
Slafkovsky 1, Nemec 2, and Cooley 3. How's the quality? Can someone tell me how's the quality of the screen? Is this like all fuzzy? Or is this actually HD when you're looking at these names right here? I'm trying to experiment with screen sharing on the live stream. Let me know if anybody could tell me. Wow. So is Shane Wright going to Seattle then? I got to redo the Shane Wright career sim. I got to redo, and then I got to create a new Slafkovsky career sim. Seems sharp. HD. Perfect. Thank you very much. So Slafkovsky career sim with the Canadiens coming up. Shane Wright's Kraken career, if he goes to the Kraken, coming up. That's going to be a lot of simulation. It's probably going to take about 15 hours to make both of those. So hopefully I can survive. Time to redo the Kraken series, eh? My, oh my. I'll keep it on this screen for a little bit. The Kraken have to take Wright. I thought the Coyotes had to take him. He is not looking happy. He must be rattled right now. Right? And Beniers 1 and 2? Yeah, of course. It has to be. Who else is in their system? Riker Evans? Oh, what's Gary saying? Is Gary saying a trade?
You're losing some energy, but I have 2 trades to...
Whoa, trades!
You want to hear the 2 trades? They involve the Canadiens.
Whoa, Canadiens trade! Oh, Canadiens trade! Fans are going ballistic. Trade number 1.
Montreal Canadiens trade Alexander Romanov.
What?
And pick number 98 in this year's draft to the New York Islanders in exchange for pick number 13 in this year's
draft. What? That's garbage! Boo! What? Hold on. Ah. What? What is happening? So the Canadiens just traded 2 picks for another pick, and then they traded Alex Romanov and a pick for a pick, and then a pick and another pick for Kirby Dach. What? Doc, I don't know if I like that. That's twisted. That's twisted. That is twisted. Bergevino, come home, Bergevino. I miss you. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. They trade Romanov and 98 for 13, and then 13 and something else for Kirby Dach.
But the big thing is Kirby Dach now, he's a legitimate number 2 center to play behind Suzuki. That's big time. The Canadiens are proactive, and it's going to help the
I'm fried. My brain is fried right now. My brain is fried.
Big heavy defensemen, they don't make this trade, in my opinion, if they don't know that they've got guys like Joakim, Cooley coming, and some other.
So in summary, the Canadiens trade. Oh, I gotta find. Hold on. I gotta find all these picks. The Canadiens trade Alex Romanov and the 98th overall pick to the Islanders for the 13th overall pick. And then they trade the 13th overall pick and the 66th or the 68th overall pick to the Chicago Blackhawks for Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach, the 3rd overall pick in the 2019 draft. I don't know what to say. Romanov, he's amazing. That's your future number, first pair, second pair D.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a whole lot. I mean, that's the reason
I'm just scrolling through all your comments right now. What a twist.
John Gibson, the list goes on. It's pretty special. Well, Logan, congratulations and good luck. Yeah, thank you so
EA
much.
Logic. No, it wasn't number 7 in Doc. It was just Kirby Doc. Not a fan of that at all. Romanov was a fan favorite. We've now traded 2 elite Russian defensemen. Kirby Doc, not worth that. Kirby Doc got more of a return, almost as much as a return as DeBrincat almost. No, Doc's a center. So Kirby Doc, now a member of the Montreal Canadiens. Hold, I gotta change this order. This is wild. So Seattle has 3, Chicago, so 13 now also belonging to the Blackhawks as the Islanders traded that pick in the Romanov deal. So the Islanders getting Alex Romanov. I don't think I like that one, as the Hawks now have pick number 13 right here. Wow. Kraken making their selection now. Yeah. Shane Wright goes number 4 to the Kraken. He has to. Ooh. Don't Stop Believing comes on as Shane Wright gets drafted. Wow. So he goes to the Seattle Kraken. Number 1, number 2, he goes number 4 to Seattle. Wow. The Markov void endures. Sergachev to Romanov. Now to who? Caden Cooley, I guess? Wow. So DeBrincat and Doc give the Blackhawks picks 7, 13, 39, and 66. Tic Tac saying the same here. Kirby Doc did not have a great couple seasons, but not the greatest environment either. Wow, this is crazy. Really crazy. Good thing I'm not going to have to do a datacast video because I'm doing it live right now. I got to like breathe. I don't know what to say. Just scrolling through Twitter right now. I think my biggest surprise is Wright going at 4. The Cooley and Wright swap is the craziest one, I think. Seattle's going to be very happy, that's for sure, getting Shane Wright at number 4. So then who goes at number 5 now? You could get Jiricek at 5. So pretty much the top 4 was... I was right. I was correct in my thinking that the top 4 is some order of Slafkovsky, Wright, Cooley, and Nemec. Now we get to the top 5 where it gets a lot more interesting in terms of it could be anybody. I think Philadelphia, I said they were going to take Matthew Savoie. They could take Jiricek. They could take Kemell. It could be a lot of different people. Wright and Beniers in Seattle. I got to get these career sims. I almost have to stop this live stream to just do career simulations all night. Oh, it's been entertaining, all right. At least that pick was quick. I got to give props to Ron Francis there for just walking up and saying, this is who we're selecting. Wright says it feels incredible to be drafted. It's an honor. Incredible franchise. Gauthier at 5? Could be. Flyer. I would think that the Flyers take a forward here. Wow. He learned a lot about his resiliency this year. He's worked hard. The pick is in. Philadelphia is selecting. Ron Francis speaking now.
Yeah, I was pick number 4. No, I think anytime you're starting a franchise, you're looking to get centerman. It's really hard to get. You guys Shane's quality. We're really excited to bring him in.
You always wondered, you sort of dial it out and say what could happen. Did you see the possibility that Wright could be here today?
Yeah, we played it out a few different ways, and we thought this could be a possibility, something we're excited if it was going to happen, and we're excited that it did happen for us.
Thanks very much, Ron. Congratulations.
Thanks, Sally. Appreciate it.
Dave?
All right, it's Sam. This is the elite group he's a part of. And the OHL didn't play at all last year. So you look at the exceptional players that have come before and where they've had that additional year, and the number of games played, Shane Wright significantly less than everybody else. And I think that's something that's really gone underappreciated here, the fact that he's missed his draft -1 developmental year. It's absolutely huge. Yes, you can go and work out. Yes, you can get on the ice and do skills and all those things, but missing games is key. And I think I harken back to the under-18s where he's absolutely brilliant. And think about his game, the details in his game. All right, high defensive zone, make it interception, get it back going the other way. Eyes in the back of my head. I know there's a trailer there.
Wow. Still trying to digest all of that as I'm scrolling through all kinds of social media. So interesting that Ron Francis noted that they felt strongly that Shane Wright would be available at 4. So they knew something that wasn't leaked, that's for sure. Come on, this pick is in. Let's go. NDM. The pick is in. Let's see it. JT Miller's still out there. That's true. What were the red flags on Shane Wright? Was it like Bo Callahan in draft day where he drops to 6 to the Seattle Seahawks? Hashtag Bo Callahan. I'm going to tweet that right now. Shane Wright. Hashtag Bo Callahan. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Bo Callahan, man. This is the draft didn't have a consensus, but this is another level. All right, Chuck Fletcher.
Flyers would like to welcome Jasmine Martinez from Ed Snyder Youth Hockey and Education to make our first pick.
Hello. With the 5th overall pick, the Philadelphia Flyers are proud to pick Cutter Gauthier.
Cutter Gauthier, interesting. I thought he'd be somewhere in the 7, 8, 9 range. But Cutter Gauthier going to the Philadelphia Flyers at number 5. Let me get to his... let me just write this down here. So Cutter Gauthier goes to Philadelphia at 5. I think Jiricek's going to go to Columbus at number 6 here. But Cutter Gauthier, pulling up my thoughts on Cutter Gauthier. Let's see. He had a big jump after the U18s. He was a number 3 ranked forward in North America, according to NHL Central Scouting. He committed to Boston College for 2022-23. Most had him going as a mid-pick, but there's been a lot of hype around him, so it makes sense he's going top 10. And he actually goes top 5 here. He won silver at the 2022 under-18s. He had 9 points in 6 games. He's 1 or 2 years away, most likely. He's a 6'3" player who's very versatile and can play however a coach needs him to play. So let's see. He's gonna, let me just and that's the shape of things right now through the first round. Slafkovsky, Nemec, Cooley, Wright, and Gauthier. I don't think anyone could have gotten that right. My goodness. Columbus almost on the clock.
you're looking at it from a big picture, what do you think about when you think about the Philadelphia Flyers? Big, heavy, tough to play against, yet can still score just as easily as they punch you in the mouth, and then they kind of go chase.
Comps are Thomas Vanek, RJ Umberger, and Chad Round. Interesting.
What a run to the stage. They born in Sweden, raised in Arizona.
Low elite potential for Gauthier? Yeah, you got it, Joel.
Again, a lot of excitement surrounding that U.S. team.
Exactly. Well said. As Pierre says, he's not ready to play in the NHL just yet. He's going to go to Boston College. He'll probably be a few years away, but still. And they're going to commercial break right now. So I'll take a moment as well here, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Oh, how are we feeling, ladies and gentlemen? How are we feeling? Boy. Let's pull up the numbers here on Kirby Doc. Kirby Doc, third overall pick to the Hawks in 2019. Was a great player on the Saskatoon Blades. He's a big boy. So the Canadiens with Slafkovsky and Doc now have 2 6'4" players in the system. Rookie season, 23 points in 64 games. Then last year's shortened season, injury and COVID, 10 points in 18 games. Pretty promising. Then only 26 points in 70 games this year with the Blackhawks. 59 in 152 in his career. I think the upside is there. I think it is. It's upsetting to have lost Romanov and those other picks that could have turned into other things, as I thought the Canadiens were going to be trading up to make another selection like Kemell or something. But it looks like that's probably going to be it for their trades. Traded for a first and a third. That trade itself may come back to haunt the Blackhawks, but the Romanov to the Islanders trade, that hurts the Canadiens in my opinion. Definitely surprised. Not sure if that was the right call. I almost would have traded. I would have traded we have Norlinder and Cooley in the system, but Romanov was good. He worked well with St. Louis. He was a fan favorite. I'm really surprised that Alex Romanov was traded from the Canadiens.
Well, congratulations. Good luck at Boston College and Philadelphia.
I appreciate it. You gotta love the smiles on their faces, realizing their dreams. It's such a special moment, and yeah, he is a pretty good juggler as well. Columbus, they have the 6th and the 12th pick as they make their way onto the stage. A lot of speculation on so many different additions that they.
All right, Columbus is on the stage. The pick is in. I think it has to be David Jiricek here.
I just like that they have a young team and they continue to keep both these picks. I think would be wise. I like the direction they're going. They need defense. Remember, Seth Jones is faded out of that.
Let's see what they say. Are they going to get a big boy to play with Zach Werenski?
They need defense there.
Bonjour. Merci beaucoup. À la belle ville Montreal. Yes.
Nice accent.
Beautiful city. Thank you very much to the Molson family for putting on and hosting a great time. We would like to say hello to our fans at Pins Easton Thank you very much, fifth line, for being great supporters.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Jack.
I would like to introduce our general manager, Jarmo Kekalainen.
Jarmo.
With the 6th overall pick, the Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from Czech Pilsen, David Jiricek.
Yeah, David Jiricek going to the Blue Jackets. Definitely makes sense. That's exactly where I had him going. I think that makes a lot of sense for them. Getting into my report here on David Jiricek. Let's see what we got. David Jiricek, he's a textbook two-way D. He was the 2021 Rookie of the Year in his league, in the Czech league. He had 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points in 29 games. Good top 4 potential, similar to Simon Nemec. Very steady. He flows well as he skates. He has good command from the blue line. He enjoys getting involved with the play. He has an incredibly hard shot and reads the game well. If he hadn't missed 3 months with a knee injury this season, he may very well be the top-ranked D-man of his class. I've also seen some comparisons to Moritz Seider. So great selection for the Blue Jackets as Jiricek goes there. Seattle Kraken legend in our franchise modes. But getting back to Romanov and Kirby Dach, Romanov traded to the Islanders. Looking at Jay Fresh's card here, a promising young defenseman who improved his results a lot after the coaching change midseason. 63rd percentile for projected wins above replacement. 67 for offense, 47 for defense. Solid stuff. Kirby Dach, on the other hand, still young, but has not yet shown very much at all at the NHL level, especially when it comes to scoring goals. 10th percentile for projected wins above replacement. 24% for offense, 42 for defense. Solid penalty kill, solid primary assists, 85th percentile there. But not much to say aside from that. Those are some difficult numbers on that screen right there. David Jiricek going to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So in the end, the Blue Jackets get Jiricek and Bokvist for Seth Jones. I think that's a great deal for them. So the Canadiens, so the trade continues. The Dale Weiss and Thomas Fleischmann for Phil Danault and a 2nd-round pick trade tree continues. The second became Romanov, and Romanov became Kirby Dach. Well, became a pick, and the pick became Kirby Dach. Romanov, he will be an RFA, but right now he's signed. He's under contract. Let me try and find this. I lost it. I think he still has 1 more year till RFA status, if I'm not wrong. Chicago is on the clock. Will they make the pick? I think they absolutely will. Let me just edit my graphic here. David Jiricek. Habs can sign him if they want to give him an offer sheet. The pick is not in yet. Hawks are still thinking about it. I think it probably has to be if Gauthier is gone, Blackhawks, and after trading Kirby Dach, I don't know if they go for the wing. Do they go for the wing now they traded DeBrincat, or do they not since they traded Dach? I think they probably go Joakim Kemell here. And I could see the Red Wings going Savoie at 8. But I think at 7, I'm probably going to be Kemell going at 7 to the Blackhawks, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, there's a minute 35 left on the clock. The pick is not in yet. I'm not sure how long they usually wait till they say the pick is in. But will the DeBrincat trade turn into more? Who knows? I don't think I'm sleeping tonight. Shane Wright and Slafkovsky career simulations. He's the highest drafted Czech-born defenseman. Number 1 is Roman Hamrlik in 1992. Number 4, number 2 at 4th overall is Klesla in 2000. Svoboda was drafted 5th in 1984 by the Canadiens. Jiricek drafted 6th, makes him the 4th highest Czech-born defenseman in NHL history. The pick is in. It was late, but the pick is now in for the Hawks. Yeah, a lot of Lekkerimäki buzz for the Red Wings. I have heard that as well. As we know, in the Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode, we went Matthew Savoie, but a lot of these players weren't available, or they also weren't as good in the EA land. The Hawks are walking up. Imagine walking up to the stage after absolutely decimating your franchise in that same day. Hello to all our fans back at Portillo's in Chicago. Some random restaurant. Here we go. The pick is in. Le choix est fait.
The Hawks GM, as Chicago gets ready to make the first of 2 first-round picks here at the 2022 NHL Entry Draft.
Merci Montréal pour votre accueil.
Kyle Davidson.
Thank you Montreal for the fantastic week, and a special thank you to all the amazing fans here today who made this such a special event. We'd like to say hello to all of our fans back in Chicago, and specifically the Highland Park residents. Our hearts are with you. With the 7th overall pick, the Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select.
Here we go.
From the Seattle Thunderbirds, Kevin Korchinski.
What? And the day just keeps getting worse for the Blackhawks as Korchinski goes 7th. I don't know about that. I had Korchinski at 13. I had him ranked. He's a great prospect, don't get me wrong. But to pass over Kemell? Whoa. Whoa. I don't know about that one. Hawks fans are just buzzing right now. Even more. What a day. I'm reading right now on Twitter. Supposedly the Islanders had a different trade on the table. The deal got blown up at the table, and they went a different direction last second to make that deal with the Canadiens for Romanov. Very surprised on Korchinski, though. So they had a deal on the table for JT Miller with the Canucks, I believe, but it blew up last second. Yeah, the Hawks definitely need that NHL 23 franchise mode. Let me see my thoughts on Korchinski. He's definitely good. He's good. He had a big rise in the second half of the season. He scored 4 goals and 61 assists for 65 points in 67 games. He's 6'2". He's a smooth scooter. He's a smooth skater with good offensive upside, but his defensive game must continue to develop. He has the tools to be a successful top 4 guy, but he'd still be a couple of years away. He will need support in the pipeline. So it makes sense that Blackhawks take someone who's still a few years away, and they don't even have a jersey for him. There's no name on the back of his jersey in Chicago. I guess they couldn't afford the extra few letters. But it makes sense that they take someone who's a few years away, but still. They trade like the picks that would have become Cole Sillinger, David Jiricek, and Adam Boquist for Seth Jones. And then they trade Kirby Dach and Alex DeBrincat for the picks that become Korchinski and more to come. Off to Chicago. The Red Wings are now on the clock as we have a wild top 7 that I don't think anyone could have predicted, especially picks like 3, I don't know, anything after 4 was a surprise, I guess. Like 6 was what I expected. 5 was a bit of a surprise, but 4 and 7 definitely big surprises. Let's see what he says.
People you did this for, so getting to celebrate with them this moment, it's phenomenal.
You weren't able to be at the combine, so you had to do a lot of virtual.
He wasn't even at the combine.
Chicago was pretty interested.
Yeah, I knew they interested. I didn't do any
here, but I'm interested just talking to them throughout the year. So obviously I was a Chicago Blackhawks fan as a kid. All those
Blackhawks fan as a kid.
Did they ask you to play piano in the Zoom interview or no?
No, they didn't. Yeah.
Maybe
so,
now you'll have to play.
Yeah, I might have to.
All right, Les. Well, congratulations and best of luck.
Awesome, thank you.
Carolyn has all the little tidbits. I love it. So he's a big piano player. And look at this, guys. I mean, this is really impressive.
So Korchinski's 61 assists was the most assists by a WHL rookie defenseman since 1983. Kevin Connaughton got 48 in 2010. Yzerman has so many good choices here. He has a lot of good choices here. I think they got to go Kemell. I keep saying Kemell. I thought he could have gone 5 at 8. He has to go. He has to go. So I don't think Lekkerimäki is the guy that they go for anymore. Maybe that's the one that the guy who they thought they were gonna get. But I don't know.
So Kevin Korchinski goes again out of Saskatoon and the WHL with Seattle. Before we get to Detroit's pick at 8, that's going to be in about a minute here. Really, I just wanted a quick thought.
The pick is in for Detroit pretty quick. So they're making their pick, obviously. I think they're very content. Whoever they're getting here, I'm sure they're content with, because Korchinski was a big one that wasn't supposed to go top 7. McGuire says, watch, this is going to go off the rails. All right, Pierre, let's hang on tight.
I think the one thing we're all wondering about the brink is, could you have waited? Why did you feel the need to do it now?
I think, it's tough moving an Alex.
Let's see what he says about moving to brink at the GM.
But where we are in our rebuild, I think it was essential that we got into the top 10 tonight and got a really quality player. And, I know a lot of people say this, but we got our guy. We did this with the intention of getting Kevin Korchinski in the first round. And so, I think to that effect, we were really happy with it. But again, it doesn't make it easy to move on from a guy like Alex Brinkett.
I think the thing we're all kind of wondering now is just Taves and Kane, Seth Jones. You said the guys with the no move clauses are not available. Has that changed at all?
The way we're operating is remaining the same. It's we're going to keep them abreast of what's going on. We're going to keep them posted, but we're not approaching them on anything, and so we're just going to continue to listen on other players, but the players with the no move clauses are the ones that are.
Here's the pick. Marco Kasper. Thanks for showing it to us, Elliot Friedman. You have to talk about the no trade clauses with Jonathan Toews. But Marco Kasper going to the Detroit Red Wings. That's another surprise. I did not see that one coming. But as we know, the Red Wings and Stevie Y are not afraid to make deals like that, to make selections like that. I can't believe the guys who are dropping right now. He's a 200-foot game, 6th Austrian-born player selected in the first round. He had 2 assists in 7 games with Austria at the 2022 World Championship. Scored more points than any U18 player in the SHL with 11 points in Sweden.
He's definitely a 3F, like a high-end 3F that can do a lot of different things. He's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife secondary scorer. What's fascinating to me is that this guy's had such a drive to get to this point. At 16 years old, he leaves Austria. He goes to Sweden. He learns the language in 3 months. He decides that, I'm still going to go to school while I'm playing in the SHL, the NHL equivalent over there. So he's sitting beside guys in high school. I got to go on a road trip here. Sorry, boys, I got to go. So you have to love the fact that he's learned to cook, clean, do everything on his own from the age of 16 in an entirely different country. My goodness, if I think about my children and how I be so tough to separate from them to do that, yet this guy had all the will to do it. His parents gave him the leeway to do it, and it's culminated in being picked 8th overall.
Detroit's starting to build up some big kind of status in terms of forward.
Wow, the guesses are tough. The guesses are tough right now. He's a physical guy. You can see they just slapped on a nameplate. At least that's better than Korchinski not getting a name on his jersey. Kasper, the new Thomas Holmstrom for Detroit. Geekie still available. That's true. So let's see. Next pick going to the Buffalo Sabres. Who's still out there, right? which direction are the Sabres going to go in? Matthew Savoie, Joakim Kemell. I keep saying their names. Brad Lambert, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, Mintyukov, Juraj, Mateychuk, Geekie, Nazar. A lot of big names there. It's just not, of course, as we knew, the order is very surprising. Fun little tidbit here. The Blackhawks have now traded all of these first-round picks over the last decade. They traded their 2 first-round picks in 2011, Danault and McNeil. In 2012, Teravainen. In 2013, Hartman. In 2014, Schmaltz. 2017, Joki Harju. 2018, Adam Boqvist. And now 2019, Kirby Dach. Those are all the first-round picks that the Blackhawks have traded over the last decade. Pretty crazy. The Buffalo Sabres are now on the clock. Yzerman, Tactics, who's a big Red Wings fan, checking out the Twitter feed here. Safe pick for the Wings. Would have rather gone for the potential of Savoie, but trust Yzerman. If there's a team that can trust their GM, it's Detroit with Stevie Y. So I wouldn't be too afraid right there. And that's the first half of the video, my friends. From picks 1 to 8, we have Slafkovsky, Nemec, Cooley, Wright, Gauthier, Jiricek, Korchinski, and Kasper going in the top 8. Names to come from 9 to 16, Lekkerimäki, Kemell, Mateychuk, Geekie, and Nazar, and many, many more. We'll see who the Sabres want to take. As their pick is in. They did not wait too long for that one. The pick is in Buffalo. It's tough to guess where they're going to go on this one. I can't believe Kemell's dropping this far right now. Highest drafted Austrian-born players, Vanek at 5, Kasper now at 8, who passes Marco Rossi, who was taken 9th in 2020, and Grabner 14th in 2006. 2 Austrians named Marco going 8 and 9 in 2020 and 2022. Wild. As the Sabres are moving up to make this pick, I'll take at the halfway point, I will take this moment to just say thank you to everyone who's tuning in to watch now. We're at 33 people. Hope you're all enjoying it. If you haven't checked out the channel, if you're first time viewing, we do NHL 22 franchise mode, MLB The Show 22 franchise mode, FIFA 22 career mode, NHL 07 dynasty mode, as well as real life NHL stuff like this, breakdowns, live streams, instant analysis and reactions, all that kind of stuff. So if you think that would be something that you would enjoy, take a minute to check out the channel, and especially for our franchise modes, the more the merrier, and it's just that much sweeter with all of you involved, because the more minds that we have, the more involved everyone gets, and it's a really immersive series. Thank you very much. Zach is predicting Savoie for this pick from Buffalo. Hashtag data rules. Thank you, Jay Birdie. Thank you very much. And you know what? Leave a like if you're so inclined to donate. There's a link in the description for donations as well. I think you can donate directly through YouTube as well. There's a link in the description for the Discord server where people are talking right now about hockey nonstop and sports and many other things. So it would be a great time. I'm sure you enjoyed it if you enjoy hockey. And Buffalo is making their way up. They pick at 9, 16, and 28 as of now. Ooh. We'll see what they do for this one. This first of 3 first-round picks. I wonder if they are active as well in moving them around. Let's see what they have to say.
Guys that want to be in Buffalo, that's also a key element of what he's done so far. And he has just grown up through the ranks there, whether it was running Harbor Center, their minor hockey program, and their academy. An excellent job here now, the general manager.
All right, so Buffalo on the clock, and Kevin Adams to the podium. Let's hear what the Sabres do.
Kevin Adams.
The Buffalo Sabres are proud to
Thank you for being quick.
From Winnipeg in the Western
Ooh.
Matthew Savoie.
There we go. Savoie. Matthew Savoie going to the Buffalo Sabres. I thought for a second when they said Winnipeg, they were going to say Conor Geekie. Matthew Savoie going 9th to the Buffalo Sabres. I like that pick for them, but I'm still shocked that Kemell continues to drop. But it makes sense. I think if 9 and 10 are Savoie Kemell, I think it would make sense. But that's a great pick for them right there. Matthew Savoie is a solid player. Once thought of as a 1 or a 2 in this draft. Let's see. He had 6 goals, 12 points in the 2022 WHL playoffs to help Winnipeg advance to the 3rd round. I'll get to my thoughts on him in a moment, but just a little recap of the draft board right here for anyone who's just joining us. Here is how we're looking through the first 9 picks. Back to here now. Matthew Savoie. So he was once thought of a top 1-2 guy because of how young he joined the WHL. 5'9", a smaller guy, but he's very gifted offensively with his passing ability. Lots of upside. I could see him dropping in favor of Cutter Gauthier. So those were my original thoughts, and they came true. But I think that a good mentorship group will help him out. Unfortunately, you don't have a guy like Jack Eichel to be the big boy in Buffalo. I don't know, I guess him, Dylan Cousins, and maybe Casey Middlestad are the future down the middle for the Sabres. But I like a centerman selection there. He models his game after Matty Barzal and Braden Point. Who would play him in a movie? Leonardo DiCaprio, according to this on the screen here. Anaheim with a potential right-wing duo of Troy Terry and Joakim Kemell. I like that. Just scrolling through the analytics here. Romanov's micro stats. Let's look at this from Jay Fresh. Let's see this. 84th percentile for in-zone shots. Possession entry rate 76. Possession exit rate 55. Entries though 1%. Entry success 14%. Definitely a lot to work on. But he's hard hitting. He has passion. He works hard. Hey, courtesy of EA, Slafkovsky is already on the screen right now. I'm watching Slafkovsky, and hey, they're already running simulations with these guys at EA. How do they have Cooley in the game? Come on, EA. and the guy scores a glitch goal as well. Even better. Denial rate 59%, all that stuff. So NHL going to a commercial break right now. I will take a moment to do the same, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alrighty. Let's see. What did Andrew say here? You had a list of Chicago's picks and who they were. Here's the Pens version since 2008. This is the version. Not following you here. The Pens version. This is the people that they've missed on? Is that it? The list that I was reading was players that they have traded away. Here's the Ducks selection now.
The Anaheim Ducks would like to wish Kim Marchment, the Marchment family, and the entire San Jose Sharks our warmest sympathies. With the 10 selection, the Anaheim Ducks select Pavel Mintyukov.
Oh, yeah. All the picks they traded away. Gotcha. Mintyukov going to the Ducks here. The 4th defenseman taken in the top 10. Did I have that originally? No, I had Mintyukov going at 11 to San Jose, so not too far off. The highest ranked North American defenseman by NHL Central Scouting. Excuse me. Let me pull this up. Let me just put this into the Ducks. Mintyukov. There we go. Going to the Anaheim Ducks, Mintyukov. And thus concludes the top 10.
Yeah, you think about Kemell, he's starting to get up there in age a little bit. You think about Jamie Drysdale, he's up and coming. Well, this guy now might have an opportunity to jump your.
Let's see. They don't tell me. Yeah, they tell me his favorite NHL player and his favorite pregame meal. That tells me nothing. Thank you. Let me get back to my thoughts on Mintyukov. There we go. So Mintyukov, good size, left shot, gifted offensively. He has to work on his D zone and positioning. Same story as Korchinski, but he has more goal-scoring ability. He knows when to jump into the play, and he skates well. Very good blue line control. He will do well if mentored with the right group, and hopefully in Anaheim, I don't know, Cam Fowler and the future of Jamie Drysdale could do that. That would be interesting. He had 17 goals, 45 assists, 62 points in 67 games. Here's an interesting point. A Sabres analyst had this quote on Mintyukov. He said, "It is all too reminiscent of watching Rasmus Ristolainen in a Sabres uniform. The tools are there. He's a physical specimen. But too often I'm watching film of Mintyukov and trying to piece together the thought process behind some of his defensive reads." So definitely a guy who has to work on his game, but the potential and the raw talent is there. So now who's here for San Jose? I'll say it again. I think it has to be Kemell. I think it has to be Kemell. Savoie has gone. The highest rated defenseman has gone. I think now is really the time now. If it's not Kemell, then I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone like Jonathan Lekkerimäki. I don't think Brad Lambert would go. Maybe Juraj. But I definitely one of those names that I just said. I would be surprised if it's not one of those. Oh, and Bettman has a trade to announce. Once the boos are over.
I'd like to announce a trade.
Let's hear the trade. Ah ouais, le Canadien.
That's better. The Arizona Coyotes trade pick number 11.
Ooh.
The next pick in this draft to the San Jose Sharks.
Other way around, buddy.
Picks 27, 34, and 45 in the 2022 draft.
Switch the teams around.
That means San Jose has the 11th selection.
No, they already had the selection.
2022 draft.
Gary, wake up, Gary.
San Jose, you're on the clock.
Gary, wake up.
All right, I hate to correct the commissioner here, but I think San Jose traded the 11th pick to Arizona.
So Arizona trades 3 picks to move up to pick number 11. They take Logan Cooley, and now who else will they take? They trade picks. The Coyotes trade picks 27, 34, and 45 to the Sharks for pick number 11. Gary, wake up, buddy. So San Jose, Mike Greer, maybe got scared a little by what's his name? Kevin Costner in draft day. He used that. Oh, you're a rookie GM. Don't feel pressure. Let me take that pick off your hands, type of thing. Shane Wright interviews. Thanks, Montreal, and its great fans. Classy kid. Very nice from Darren Dreger. Classic Gary.
Thanks very much, Pat. Dave? All right, and just to clarify, yes, it's Arizona that's coming back to make the 11.
San Jose pick up 3 solid picks, I do have to say, for pick number 11. Pick number 11 is going to be a good prospect, though. If I was San Jose, I would have liked to get Kemell, because there are some good pieces here at 11. It's not like you're thinking, I'm between some guys who are all interesting, but no one crazy. Kemell, the guy, people are saying top 6, top 7, top 8 max. Kemmell's at 11. He's got to go. I'm like a broken record. Who are the Coyotes going to take now? So they get Logan Cooley at 3. And who do they take at 11? The pick is not in yet, but we know they'll be making it.
Might happen in 15. And so, as you mentioned, trade back scenarios are probably going to present themselves, and we're seeing that with San Jose. And I don't think we've seen the last of it. No, but I got to think that Arizona's looking at either Kemell or Lekkerimäki.
Yeah. Pierre says it has to be Kemell or Lekkerimäki here. For guys who have dropped to trade up, for a guy who's dropped, it has to be one of those two. And I agree.
USA with 2 picks. Czechia, of course, with 1, and Austria and Russia. You mentioned the Russian factor, the invasion and the war with Ukraine. That's obviously maybe playing a role on some more talented players, maybe being overlooked a little bit.
No, Kemmell's not going to 25, that's for sure.
And it's still fascination exists to see where those players end up going if they do still indeed go in the first round. If it does happen, it's likely it's going to happen with a team with multiple picks. We're seeing Arizona, we're seeing Buffalo, Anaheim, a lot of teams with multiple picks here in round 1.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually a little bit unfortunate. It isn't that we, as the grown adults, are having that discussion, but it is a reality. This is pro sports after all, and these kids deserve to be drafted higher than maybe their draft slot's going to be. I think Juraj is a real possibility here in the next 2 or 3 picks. So
Juraj, the next few picks, the panelists say here.
They need everything. I mean,
The pick is in.
There's been trouble off the ice. There's been trouble on the ice. Logan Cooley's going to be that dynamic player. You guys all love him, especially Jason. And you mentioned a couple of players you can see fitting in well with Arizona, but they're not a year away or 2 years away. We're talking a big rebuild here.
And both of those players they talked about, Kemell out of Finland and Lekkerimäki out of Sweden, David, they're both guys that are down the road. They're 2 or 3 years away from being ready to play, but when they can play, they're both NHL style scorers. Both those players have 2-year contracts.
Away, make the pick, boys.
In Europe, so definitely they're a ways away from coming over.
And that could play a role as well if the team's looking for immediate help. And again, they're looking for some good PR as well as we see Bill Armstrong heading up to the podium. And Bill Armstrong, a big part of St. Louis's championship in 2019, and had to sort of start from scratch here with the Arizona Coyotes. And again, Logan Cooley's a good big building block. And now moving up to the 11th pick, we will see what the Coyotes are going to do here, Sam.
Yeah, it's just fascinating that you have a plan that Bill Armstrong went and sold to the ownership group. And he is executing that plan maybe a lot faster, not in terms of what they are in the NHL, but really stripping it down and getting a ton of picks and a ton of prospects and building right from the ground up. It's going to be fascinating to watch this group over the next 3 years just to see what happens on ice and who is it that's actually playing for them in the NHL.
Here we go. It took long enough, but the Coyotes are going to make their pick.
The bad contracts.
Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from the Winnipeg Ice, Conor.
What? Conor Geekie? Wow. Good for him. That's a surprise, though. Okay, but they trade up for the pick and they take the longest time possible to make it. Let's get this show on the road over here, guys. Come on. Conor Geekie. Remove the Sharks logo. Put the Coyotes logo. Give me a sec. You'll see my masterpiece in a moment. There we go. He's talking on his way down. You're on your way to Arizona. How's it feel? Yeah, it's amazing. All right. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Why are they talking? Let him shake hands with Gary and meet the team. Why is he trying to talk to David Amber? What's David Amber going to tell him? So the Coyotes get Logan, Cooley, and Conor Geekie. And the Blue Jackets, who I thought were going to get Juraj, now could even take Kemell or Lekkerimäki. And the Hawks, who passed on Kemell to take Korchinski, may even get a chance at him at number 13. The Hawks are going to get Korchinski and one of those forwards. Man. Yeah. I've always dreamt of playing at ASU Arena. I'm really happy. It's Conor Geekie. He's a big boy, that's for sure. Conor Geekie, reading my thoughts on him. Good size, 6'4". He'll probably get over 200 pounds. Valedictorian in high school. Good stuff. Man after my own heart. Going to be a big centerman who just needs to continue to refine his skills. Teams love to see this kind of player because you can't teach size. As it usually goes with these bigger guys, Geekie will still need to work on his skating. Great vision and IQ. High ceiling, must be cultivated well. I believe everyone had him ranked between like 8 and 15, but I think Craig Button, I may be wrong, but at one point, I think Craig Button had him ranked like 31. So shout out to Craig Button. So theoretically, yeah, it's possible. The Blackhawks are guaranteed another right winger to replace DeBrincat if they get Kemell or Lekkerimäki. But I thought Lekkerimäki was a centerman, actually. I guess he could play wing. But oh yeah, it's true. Lekkerimäki as a Finn for Jarmo Kekalainen. I could see Lekkerimäki at 12 and Kemell at 13. And then I want Kemell gets drafted so I could just stop saying Joakim Kemell has to be next. Blue Jackets are on the clock. A little interview now for Geekie in his Coyotes jersey at ASU Arena. I'm watching a Sportsnet clip of the Habs fans' reaction to that trade when they traded Romanov. He was definitely, they're disgusted. But then it's traded for Kirby Dach, and how do they react? A little bit of a smile, and they weren't sure, and they end off confused. Let's see. What a run for Stan Bowman. Look at this tweet right here. This has to be Kemell. No, I think it's Lekkerimäki has a Finn, maybe. Miroshchenko to the Pens. Mason's still saying it. Could be. He goes at pick 17 after I stop streaming. Imagine. Let's go here. So what a run for Stan Bowman. 2010 first-round pick. Kevin Hayes declines to sign. Danault traded. McNeil bust. Teravainen traded. Hartman traded. Schmaltz traded for Strome, who walks. Jokiharju traded. Boquist traded. Beaudin bust. And Doc traded. Whew. Boy. Come on, he can't keep dropping like this, can he? Interesting. Lou Lamoriello gave up on Devontae's for 2 seconds, but then traded the 13th overall pick for Alex Romanov. That's interesting to note. You know, the Canadiens got the 13th overall pick for Romanov. That sounds good, but then they traded that 13th for Doc. That doesn't sound as good. But also, you know, it'll depend on what Doc ends up doing. Hard to say. Hard to say. Pick is in. Blue Jackets are going up.
They hooked us up. They actually did the whole insides to it. Wow. So it's I don't know if it's a new thing that's going to happen, but it'll be with the Yields for years.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. David? All right, leave it to Elliot to talk fashion here.
They're walking up for their second pick. They're smiling. They have David Jiricek so far. And they're about to get, I think, Kemell or Lekkerimäki.
That's blaring, I believe, right now. But who we have going up there? We have Columbus up there with a 12th pick. And again, they've already picked 6 so far in this draft. And what might be seen here as well? You know, we'll hear what we're seeing and we'll react to that. But we can tell you, Columbus, they already have Jiricek, a right-handed shot, D-net at 6, and now they pick at number 12.
Here we go. Short and sweet. Let's go.
With the 12th pick,
very nice.
Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select
From Western Hockey League, Moose Jaw Warriors.
What?
Denton Mateychuk.
What? Denton Mateychuk? They go for 2 D-men? No, I don't like that. I love Mateychuk, but I don't like 2 D-men for 2 top 12 picks for the Blue Jackets. They had to take a forward there. Who's there? Who's there? They're getting old, these guys. Voracek, all these. They're getting old. You have Werenski, you have Boquist, you have Jiricek. And another right-handed shot as well. Aren't Boquist, Mateychuk, and Jiricek all right-handed shots? You've got to take one of those forwards. Kemell or Lekkerimäki goes at 13, 14. How many times am I going to say these guys' names? What? Going crazy. Their decor is locked for a long while, that's for sure. Here's the top 12 so far. I'm pretty surprised at this top 12. Goodness gracious. Only 4 more picks, then we call it a night. Already almost there. I'm not going to go all the way to 32 because, honestly, I don't think I know enough. Plus, it's a 3.5 hour stream is quite long, and I have some other commitments this evening, unfortunately. So I think 16 is a nice sweet spot to end it at. But if Kemell doesn't go before 16, I am going to snap. Wow. Only insane thing this night is missing is Elliot Friedman's beard. Well said. Well said. Mateychuk on the left. Okay, so you got Werenski and Mateychuk on the left, Jiricek and Boquist on the right. Fantastic top 4, but who's going to put the puck in the net? You play to win the game, and you got to put the puck in the net. But Mateychuk, he does put the puck in the net. I'll give him that. Mateychuk, what are my thoughts on him? Let's see. 13 goals, 51 assists, 64 points in 65 games in the WHL. Not as big as some of the other guys, but he's not a power play quarterback, but he has good hockey sense, meaning that he takes the right shot or makes the right pass at the right time. He could develop into a top 4D who also sees power play and penalty kill time. He's 5'11". One scout was quoted as saying, in the 2022 draft class, there isn't a player I enjoy watching more on a nightly basis than Denton Mateychuk. He is a unicorn as a defender. There isn't an archetype that he really fits into, which makes him a polarizing player to categorize and rank. So there are your thoughts there. My goodness. Mateychuk going to karaoke song is Sweet Caroline. This is a win pick for Columbus. Say no more. Why didn't you tell me? Wow. We'll take a quick break here and we'll be right back. Boy, oh boy. I didn't think defensemen would be the story of this draft, but was it 5 defensemen in the top 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 defensemen in the top 12. I don't think I see any more defensemen. Yeah, I don't think I see any more defensemen in the top 16. Not sure. I love a GM that just gets up there and makes a pick. Bobby Ryan. Give him a like on that tweet. Minnesota going to need that extra depth if Kaprizov doesn't return. True. I think he will, but it's a scary situation right now. Jack is still manifesting Kemell to Minnesota at number 19. The pick is in at number 13. The Hawks are making this pick, the pick that they received from the Canadiens in the Kirby Dach trade, that they received from the Islanders in the Alex Romanov trade. So the Hawks picking at 13. Like a broken record, I'm going to say it again. They got Korchinski at 7. And now if they take Kemell at 13, I would have thought that it would be swapped. Kemell at 7, Korchinski at 13. But if they can go Korchinski at 7, Kemell at 13, that'll be fine. Him or Lekkerimäki, I'm still banking on one of those two guys being the pick here. They're walking up, shaking hands with Gary again. Everyone's got to look official. Make that pick nice and fast. Let's go. Very busy day for Chicago.
But now they're on the podium because they do have the 13th overall pick. And let's hear what they're going to do. Kyle Davidson, the GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, expected to make a pick in a matter of moments.
Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select for the United States
What?
National Development Team Frank Nazar.
Frank Nazar. Nazar. Not a bad pick at all. Not a bad pick at all. And I could see him going at 13. It's just that I can't believe Kemell's still here. And he hasn't been picked. But Nazar, he goes to Chicago at number 13. Not a bad pick at all. And some have even seen him going higher. So not bad at all. I'm doing all right, Mark. Thank you very much. He's a great player. It's just that I'm still surprised that Kemell continues to drop. Nazar dropping to 13, 14, 15 would have made more sense to me than Kemell dropping to 13, 14, 15. Same for Lekkerimäki. I thought it was Nazar, but could be wrong. What thoughts do I have on Big Frank? Big Frank, what do I have on him? Let's see. I think he dropped down. He was ranked 21st by Central Scouting in North America Skaters, I think. One of those guys that Central Scouting likely missed on. Yeah, here they are. Good speed and skill, great release off the rush. As most, he will need more strength. He had 70 points in the U.S. development team. USHL, 35 points in 24 games, 15 goals, 20 assists. 9 points in 6 games in the under 18s. And he's going to the University of Michigan next year. It's a nice pick for sure. It is a nice pick. Winnipeg now at 14. I expected Geekie to go here at 14, says Zach, but it won't be since Geekie had gone earlier. So now Jets, are they going to take Kemell or Lekkerimäki? Or who else is even in my top 16? Juraj, perhaps? Yeah, those are my last guys. And Brad Lambert. Those are the last ones that are still in there that haven't gone yet. So they get a defenseman and then a forward. The Hawks do. Frank Nazar. Who's still here that's good? Just those names that I just mentioned right there previously, probably. Once again, the Blackhawks do not have a nameplate on the back of the jersey. Ole, ole, ole here in Montreal. Jets on the board right now, on the clock.
NHL desk. He's been there. He's done this. Third longest tenured GM in the league. He's been there for 11 years. What are your expectations for the Jets, and what are the greatest needs?
Jets are sitting at the table. This is their first time having 2 first-round picks since they had 2 first-round. They had 2 first-round picks in 2015, 2 first-round picks in 2016, and now this year in 2022 they have 2 first-round picks once again. This year they missed the playoffs for the first time in the last 5 seasons. They had Rick Bowness, named coach just a little bit a week ago, I believe. A data what compilation from the stream. That wouldn't be bad, Ramses. After the stream ends, I'll make it private probably for a few hours as I clean up anything from the stream itself. And then I'll make sure that it's rewatchable for anyone who missed it live and wants to rewatch after the fact, as this will live on in YouTube history. And then I'm going to be up for like the next 48 hours making Shane Wright and Slafkovsky career simulations. Best available right now: Kemell, who was ranked 7, Lekkerimäki ranked 9, Lambert ranked 13, Snuggerud ranked 15, Östlund ranked 16, Chesley ranked 17, and Bichelle ranked 18, according to Sam Cosentino. Oh yeah, you know what? That would be a good idea, Zach. That's what I'm gonna do in my editing. Timestamping it would be a good one. Or at least timestamping like when that team went on the clock, something like that. Or like I could be like reaction to Romanov trade when I went crazy for that Kirby Dach. You know, it might come back in the future that Kirby Dach becomes a monster centerman and Romanov is good, but then we kind of forget about him with Caden Cooley and Matthias Norlinder. It could be, but right now I'm a bit scared. We have 3 more picks on the evening: Jets, Canucks, and Sabres as we approach the 2-hour mark. Pick is in for the Jets as they're walking up to the podium now. I love when it's like this, when it's the second round onward. They just open up their microphone from the desk and they just say, "We select XYZ." Woohoo! Next team, you have 3 minutes. A minute later, we select XYZ. And it just flies through. And then in the later rounds, name, bam, 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 bam. Names are just flying through there. Who plays center for the Habs? They did not draft a center. Dach is a centerman. I believe he can play wing, but I believe he's traditionally a centerman. Canadiens have had Dvorak, Evans, and Suzuki playing center, not in that order, this past season, as well as other guys, random miscellaneous guys on the fourth line like Cedric Paquette. So maybe, Dach could become a top 6 centerman for the Canadiens, perhaps. He's only 3 years removed from being a 3rd overall pick. His career is very early. Here's the pick.
City of Montreal for the tremendous hospitality this week. Merci beaucoup. We'd like to extend our deepest condolences to the Marchman family as a Jets 1.0 draft pick. True. I'd like to acknowledge our season ticket members who are at our draft party back in Winnipeg at the Rec Room.
Make the pick, buddy.
And with the 14th
Thank you.
pick, the Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from the U.S. National Development Program, Rutger McGroarty.
Rutger McGroarty? Man, I had this guy in the 20s. Rutger McGroarty, a good Irish boy. Rutger McGroarty goes 14th to the Jets here. I think teams are missing big time right now on Kemell. I am blown away right now. Wow. Rutger McGroarty going 14th to the Jets. Captain Team USA. I don't have much information on him, honestly. Right winger, 6'1", playing with US. I'm watching what Sportsnet's saying on him right now. Has some nice moves for sure. Solid prospect. I've seen a lot of good things about him, but I wasn't anticipating him going this high or over Kemell or Lekkerimäki. who I hope are going to be 15 and 16, but I guess I won't get to see them in this video or something. He was a captain, yeah. Nice three-piece suit as well. He's looking fine here in Montreal. Wow. Is he Scottish? McGroarty? I thought he was Irish. I have to look. I'd have to ask his family family heritage here. Best name in the draft. I'll give it to him. He was drafted from the GAA field hockey team out of Ireland. Very nice. Very nice to hear. Everyone's going for the Don Sweeney strat. Come on, stop passing up on Kemell for data's sake. When was the last time more Americans were drafted than Canadians in the first round? Good point. From Nebraska, is he? I can't. Oh no, I'm trying. I think Jake Sanderson's from Montana. I think. Who else is from Nebraska? Not many. I remember when I did the Route 66 challenge. There were not a lot of Nebraskans. That's for sure. Mark getting more and more hyped seeing Slafkovsky. Good, buddy. When you see that career simulation, I hope you get even more hyped. How come the Jets can get a jersey for McGroarty with his name on it, and the Hawks can't get a name with Korchinski on it for the 7th overall pick? Are they really that strapped for cash? That's why they trade DeBrincat. They couldn't afford names on the jerseys. Ah, yes, Jake Gensel. Yes. Good call there, Andrew. Thank you. Jake Gensel from Nebraska. Yes, sir. 2 more picks. 2 more picks. So we hit the halfway point of the first round, and we'll call it a night. Bobby Margarita saying Kemell at 7 and Lekkerimäki 8, falling way out of the top 10. Both good offensive / goal scoring forwards. Man, there are always drops, but I gotta say, like, I don't know if I just haven't been as focused on previous drafts, but I feel like these are some of the biggest drops I've seen in a very long time. Kemell 7 and Lekkerimäki 8, 9, and here we are at 15. Oh, is he? Is Gensel from Minnesota? Oh, it could be. I might be could be mistaken on that then. I remember this. Yeah, he's born in Nebraska, but he grew up, I think, in Minnesota. Then maybe he went to school in Nebraska, something like that. Lekkerimäki feels like a Vancouver pick, according to Hobbsy. They are on the clock with just over 2 minutes left in their selection. I remember when we did the Route 66, it was a bit complicated. A Canadian flavor in an American product, they say, for McGroarty. Interesting. Fans going crazy for Slafkovsky. He's scrolling through Twitter right now. Every GM should be ashamed of themselves besides Pierre Dorion. I never thought I'd say that. Oh, Nyquist says that. Bob McKenzie, Bobby Margarita. What a guy. Vancouver still waiting on that pick. 1:20 left. They've used over half their time. They're thinking. There must be someone. I don't know if they're going to trade it, but I'm 100% certain that teams are calling Vancouver saying, are you picking? Are you picking? Because of the drops of Kemell and Lekkerimäki. But the pick is in. Vancouver will be selecting. Scheifele and Dubois, good McGroarty player comparisons? I don't know. I think more Scheifele than Dubois, but I don't know enough about McGroarty to be conclusive on that. Yeah, maybe put names on the jerseys. Maybe, eh?
What's Barb Underhill meant to your career in the past year working with her?
Barb's the best. I mean, she's taught me so many different things, just from mechanics to just staying loose, just a little bit of everything. Honestly, she's my very first skating coach, so it's unbelievable, and I love her.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you. Means a lot.
McGroarty, very nice guy, very kind in his interview, very polite. No first-round pick in the last couple of years for the Canucks. Last year's pick, I believe, was in the OEL trade, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So no first-round pick in a couple of years for Vancouver, but here they are picking at 15th. I feel like, I've been saying it a lot, but I feel like Kemell or Lekkerimäki really are good fits in Vancouver. Garen looking at the phones. Yeah, I don't know. Like teams will put their picks up for grabs. They'll put them on the trade block, but teams won't actually trade up. I've seen it, I think, like once or twice. It is so extremely rare to see a team trade up in the draft in franchise mode. Yeah, Winnipeg like their big centerman. That's true. That's why Geekie was so people were so surprised. Well, not surprised. So intent on he'd likely go there if he's on the board. Okay.
Sweden, SHL, Jonathan Lekkerimäki.
Yeah, Lekkerimäki, Hobbsy called it. Lekkerimäki goes to Vancouver with the 15th overall pick. I have some good stuff to say on Lekkerimäki. I think let me just update this right here. Lekkerimäki. Lekkerimäki. Let's see, in the SHL, 7 goals, 2 assists, 9 points in 26 games. In the SHL Junior League, though, in 26 games, he had 20 goals and 15 assists. So 20 goals, 35 points in 26 games. He is a pure goal scorer. He has a deadly shot, and he will do anything to score. One-timers, dekes, grindy goals in the crease. He has solid potential to produce in a top 6 role. He always has more goals than assists, and his teammates love to set him up in his office a la Ovechkin or Stamkos. He's a good passer, but just such a great shooter. Add defensive refinement, and you truly have an elite player on your hands. I think teams will be hungry for those goals and not allow him to slip into the late teens. Yet here we are at 15, as some rankings have him, and some of those were right. Yeah, just a lot of talent from him. And that's a good call from Hobbsy right there. As we have Lekkerimäki to the Canucks. 1 pick left, ladies and gentlemen. Lekkerimäki grew up shooting 400 pucks a day. He wears number 40 because of Elias Pettersson, so he's going to the Canucks. I'm sure he's loving that. He looks a little bit like Elias Pettersson as well. So that's huge. And now the Buffalo Sabres, after picking Savoie at 9, will have pick number 16 to see if we can get Kemell drafted before we end the stream. That's a good pick for the Canucks, though. I definitely see that. If I knew the story about Pettersson, I probably would have been even more sure of it. William Nylander without the speed, says the panel. Goal scorer, scores from range, doesn't grind out shifts in the trenches, supposedly, but he's exceptionally dangerous on the power play, according to Bukala, his scouting report. All right. Buffalo is on the clock for one last pick. Then it goes Nashville, Dallas, and other teams, Minnesota, Washington, Pittsburgh. Not going to get to all of those tonight, so I'm going to call it at this point after the 16th overall pick. I have some other commitments to get to, unfortunately, so I'll have to end it there at the halfway point of the first round. I think that's a pretty good time to stop it, as we've been over 2 hours already at this point. I don't know. Streaky scorer doesn't work hard enough on defense. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that's maybe how it's been sounding, but I don't think that's really it. I don't think he's streaky at all, because I don't think that Nylander comparison is fair. Nor do I think that description of Nylander is fair either. But I don't think that description about him not working. I don't think grindy shifts. Like, how do you define grinding out a shift in the trenches? I don't know about that. I think he has all the potential that I just previously mentioned. He's a skilled, smart player, Jim of the Canucks says. There's no rush to get him over to North America. Was anything up with the Islanders? Says Elliot, asks Elliot Friedman. GM of the Canucks says no comment on that with a little smile and a chuckle.
to score, something they're desperately in need of. They want to add more depth on the offense, and this is a guy who can do that. We're going to be sitting on the clock right now for the Buffalo Sabres at about a minute and a half. But as far as Vancouver is concerned, do you guys...
Minute and a half gone on the clock. Sabres already made their pick. Like I said, there has to be teams calling right now. Okay, Lekkerimäki's gone. Kemell's still there at 16. Are you making this pick to pick 9 and 16? Or are we looking for something else? Are you looking to make a move? A minute 10 left on the clock. The pick is in. Buffalo will select. The pick is in. The final pick of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Takes a while. Takes a while.
I don't like speculating about players being traded. It's just, I think it's appropriate. But JT Miller's name has been out there for a long time.
Pierre McGuire says JT Miller's name has been out there for a long time. All right, Buffalo walking up to the podium. Second of 3 first-round picks in this draft. They had 2 first-round picks last year. They have 3 this year. They've used 1 so far at number 9 on Matthew Savoie, and now they have number 16 that they will use on to be decided.
What are they going to do? I honestly, at this point in the list, don't have a clue, except for the fact that there's still some outstanding names. I mean, look at where Kemell's going right now. Wow. You know, like, very surprised he's dropped into the 16 hole.
Here we go.
There are some other guys that play the middle of the ice that are still available as well that could really surprise you at this pick.
Well, let's hear what they have to say. The Buffalo Sabres back on the podium.
With the 16th pick, the Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from your garden in the Swedish Hockey League, Noah Östlund.
Wow. Östlund going to Buffalo. A defenseman.
Another Swedish player.
Wow. Noah Östlund drafted to the Buffalo Sabres at 16th overall. So Kemell continues to drop. I would love to keep going just until Kemell gets drafted at this point. I might end up doing that. Still no Kemell. There's the top 16. Completes in all 3 zones. Relentless hounding of the play. He can be a difference maker with his skills. And I'm so sorry. I was thinking of he's a forward, Östlund. I was thinking of what's his name? The other guy with the O. Ogren. But Ogren's a forward too, isn't? Who am I thinking of? Odelius? Is that who I'm thinking of? My apologies, but he is a forward, Östlund. He played 11 games in the SHL, no points. In the SHL's junior league, he had 9 goals, 33 assists for 42 points in 32 games. He is a center. So yeah, my apologies. He's a center. Yeah. Thank you for catching that. I was thinking of Odelius, I suppose. There's a few O's there. Östlund, Ogren, and Odelius. My apologies. Yeah, Östlund. Might be waiting until tomorrow. No, it can't be. It can't be. Yeah, thank you for catching that, my friends. Lowest body fat percentage at the Combine. Good for him. 1 goal at the 2022 under-18s and comparable to Braden Point.
And giving them the opportunity to play, which is key. And that's the third player you're talking about, Liam Olsen. He's going to be on the board from pretty soon, too.
He's considered a bit of a physical specimen guy. 6.8%.
6.8% body fat.
At the Combine, the best of anyone. Gold in the under-18.
Kemell in the franchise, in the Flyers franchise, maybe, just for him. I'm not even like a big Kemell supporter. Like, I don't know much about him aside from the research I've done. But I thought he was going at like between 7 and like 7, 8, 9 slot for sure. And here we are at 17, still waiting on him.
Let's send it off to the commissioners on the podium. Long-time general manager and NHL executive Jim Gregory was perhaps one of the most beloved figures in the history of the National Hockey League. In his memory, the general manager of the Year award is named. To present the Jim Gregory NHL GM of the Year is longtime Montreal Canadien, both as a player and a general manager, and a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame, Serge Savard.
Hey, I thought just
Serge.
Bonsoir, bonsoir tout le monde.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Vous savez, la dernière fois que
You know that the last time
applaudi ici à Montréal, c'est lorsqu'il nous a présenté la Coupe Stanley en 1993.
the last time we've heard applause like this, I think he said, was when we won the Stanley Cup back in 1993.
Alors, c'est un grand honneur pour
It was a
moi
great
d'être
honor
ici ce soir
to be here tonight,
pour présenter
to
le
present to
trophée
you
Jim Gregory
the
qui est
Jim
décerné
Gregory Trophy.
au gérant
It goes to
général
the
de
general
la Ligue
manager.
nationale de hockey.
He was the top general manager in the
It
National Hockey
is
League.
a great pleasure.
Now he's speaking in
It's
English.
an honor for me to be here tonight to give the general to honor the general manager.
If that's true,
of the
Zach,
year
I would
in the
become the biggest
National
Kemell
Hockey
fan.
League. This is the Jim Gregory Trophy. When I think of Jim Gregory, I think of a hard-working guy. I think of honesty and integrity. Here's the three finalists.
The three finalists for GM of the Year. Ooh. The three finalists for GM of the Year. Let's see what we got here. Julien Brisebois of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm getting tight on time here. They're going to do this award, then a commercial break. Come on, Kemell. Let's go. Chris Drury of the New York Rangers. And Joe Sakic of the Colorado Avalanche. So Sakic, Brisebois, and Drury, the three finalists for GM of the Year. If this was decided before the playoffs, I think I'd probably give it to Brisebois. We'll see who wins it.
Wow.
He raises his eyebrows. The winner?
The winner is the great Joe Sakic.
Joe Sakic. He opens up the award and he raises his eyebrows in shock and says, wow. The great Joe Sakic wins General Manager of the Year. From Serge Savard. Big words. Joey. Landon, late. We're almost done, but you made it.
Merci beaucoup. It's a huge honor.
Joe Sakic, former Quebec Nordique with a little French.
Really grateful for this. I want to thank all the fellow general managers for this. It's just a pleasure being in the fraternity and really proud of this award. I tell you what, I couldn't have done it. Obviously, I'm sorry.
Almost knocks over the microphone.
Winning teams, and I can't thank our coaching staff led by Jared Bednar, all of our players. I got to tell you, it was a pleasure watching them. I had the privilege of watching those guys day in, day out.
Here, I'll tell you, Landon. Look at this right here.
That commitment to one another and persevere and find a way to win the Stanley Cup. So we wouldn't be here without those guys. My staff, Chris McFarland, you're a huge part of this. Big help. All of our scouts are pros, are amateurs. Everybody in the office. This award's really for you. It's an organizational award. I also want to thank ownership, Stan and Josh Kroenke,
for giving us that opportunity, sticking with us, and believing in the process. So I want to thank them. And most of all, my family, my wife Deb. I love her so much. Being there, supporting me.
Yeah, right drop to 4, Landon.
Jason Cameron, couldn't have done this without you. So thanks again, and to all the young players here, congratulations and best of luck.
Joe Sakic, what a legend, man. One of the best of all time. I have a couple good cards of Sakic. I have one card. I have a jersey card, and I also have a part of his glove in a card. Love Joe.
The 17th selection in the 2022 NHL Draft belongs to the Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators on the clock.
Congratulations to Joe Sakic. Well deserved.
They're going to commercial now. Nashville on the clock. And as the NHL goes to commercial break, we'll take one last short break right here before we wrap it up. Burnaby Joe. Absolutely. Nashville, they got to go Kemell. Put a little pressure on Philip Forsberg to re-sign, maybe? Come on. Fans are loving Slafkovsky, eh? Just scrolling through it. Fans giving him a lot of love. Going through the Central Scouting rankings here. Central Scouting had Wright number 1. Actually, let me share this. Central Scouting for North American skaters had Wright, Cooley, Gauthier, Savoie, Geekie, Mintyukov, Korchinski, Del Bellas, who hasn't gone yet, Howard, Beck, Snuggeroo, who haven't gone yet, Furcus, who hasn't gone yet. All these players who haven't gone, from Del Bellas all the way down to Goyette. Mateychuk goes, Pickering, who else is here? Frank Nazar, and Rutger McGroarty, who are ranked 21 and 22, go before all these guys who are ranked whatever, 8, 9, 10. So Central Scouting, as per usual, not really too close to being right, as is usually the case. Pick is in. Nashville will be making the selection. They're chanting, they're singing Country Roads in the Bell Center. Opinion of the pick of Slafkovsky. I'm surprised. I'm more surprised that they passed on Wright than that they took Slafkovsky, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I hope the management, I'm going to give them the chance. The trade for Doc, I'm sad we moved Romanov, but I'm glad we have Cooley and Norlinder. But then to swap that 13th overall pick for Doc, I don't know about that. Here's the 17th overall selection from the Nashville Predators. Country Roads. Can always count on Country Roads. All right. David Poyle or no? Someone else.
We'd like to say hello to our great
Jeff
friends at
Keelty.
Nashville for ice tonight. With our first choice.
Let's go.
Nashville Predators select from JYP in Finland. Joakim Kemell.
Yes, sir. Kemell goes 17th to the Predators. Let's go.
Well, there it is. Nashville
This is a steal. Steal. Man of steel. Joakim Kemell led all Finnish Elite League rookies with 15 goals in 2021-22. What else can I say about Kemell? Hang on, let me pull this up. Number 2 ranked European skater and really flying under the radar. I guess I said that one at number 7. I guess he's really flying under the radar even more as he goes at 17. Youngest Finnish Elite League player to score a goal in his first 2 career games. Bronze medal in 2022 under 18s. Had 8 points in 5 games. Let's see. Kemell led his league in rookie scoring. Had a very impressive 15 goals and 8 assists for 23 points in 39 games in Liga. However, 18 of those 23 points came in the first 16 games. He scored 18 points in 23 games in the first 16 games in Liga as a rookie in a league with men. It was the next 16 games after that that were curious, as he only managed to score 1 more point in those next 16 games. So now this is likely due to a shoulder injury that he got in November, followed by an injury at the COVID-shortened World Junior Championship. He returned to play in late January and couldn't recapture the early season magic. I think scouts are putting way too much stock into his slow second half, and teams may be missing out on a very elite talent if they allow Kemell to drop. I even said, although I have him going at 7, I could potentially see him dropping a spot or 2 due to teams being nervous. He goes at 17. Solid showing at the World Under 18s. Good skill when it comes to stick handling and shooting. He could pass more, but that's it. Now it's time for bed. I'm going to revisit this someday. He considers himself decent at golf. Childhood idol is Alex Ovechkin and models his game after David Pastrnak. They don't have a name on their jersey. I'm sure they were surprised to get him. I can't wait to revisit this in years. I think Kemell's going to be a beast, and I'm calling it right now, and this is the steal of the draft right there at 17. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this one. Wrapping it up after 17 selections in the first round. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. First kind of live stream like this. I'd like to do another one maybe for Free Agent Frenzy. So let me know your thoughts on this. And down in the comments on YouTube, once this video becomes a posted video, let me know your thoughts down in the YouTube comments or over on the Discord server, link in the description. Thank you for taking the time to watch, to listen, and to engage in everything going on. If you haven't already left a like on this one, we very much appreciate it, as well as subscribing to the channel if you think this would be something that you'd enjoy. Videos in the real world of hockey, the virtual world of hockey, NHL 22 franchise mode, other career franchise modes of other sports games, as well as career simulations. We did Shane Wright with the Canadiens. Now we got to do Shane Wright with the Kraken, Slafkovsky with the Canadiens. So I am very excited to get those out. It's not going to be easy because I have a lot going on and they take a long time to make, but when they do come out, it'll be fun. So make sure that you are subscribed to be made aware of when that happens. Thank you, everyone, for being here. A little glass of milk for everybody. Absolutely, Mark. Everyone, have a fantastic evening. I'll see you in the Discord server, and thank you for taking the time tonight. Should be an eventful rest of the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few more moves here and there, but we covered a lot. I got to take a break, and I know all of us do as well. So thank you once again. Have a fantastic evening, and enjoy this off season. Have a great night, and good night.